it's not just the Phoenix. There's so much out there. And every single organization, is made up of all these humans who just are dedicated to helping and reaching out a hand, and without any kind of judgment and without any kind of dogmatic, like this is the only way and you have to do this or else you're out, like very much like open arms all the time.
Yo, I'm Bryce III.
And I'm Liz McKean.
And you are now tuned in to the Rise, Recover, Live podcast. Here we dive into all the recovery stories from around the world.
And we talk about all pathways because there's no one right way to recover.
If you've been with us for a while, you know how powerful stories are. So get ready for your community to get just a little bigger today.
We are so glad that you're here. Let's get into the show.
What's up, Liz? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I am... This week has gone by really fast, but in a good way. Like, I feel like time has been really weird lately, and I feel like, oh, good, it's Thursday. It feels like it should be Thursday. This won't be dropping on a Thursday, so I'm sorry because now I realize that's incredibly confusing. But for us right now, it's Thursday, and I like Thursdays.
Well, happy Thursday on a Tuesday, as a listener.
That's right.
It's been a question that I haven't asked and hasn't been asked. How's your energy?
I noticed that. My energy right now in this moment feels just steady. Feels good. It's been if you had asked me that in previous conversations, I think I would have been a little more all over the place because energy's been a little wild lately, but right in this moment I feel settled, which is kind of amazing considering that I just rushed to let the dog out and then ran back in and then grabbed a piece of cold pizza and then poured myself a glass of milk that you're going to make fun of me for in a minute. And then I dropped the glass and it smashed everywhere. And it was just a big disaster. And I'm here. And maybe it's just like, welp, that happened.
So everybody listening, right, I need to know. I need to know. Do you also drink milk with your pizza?
It's vanilla almond milk also, just for the record.
If you're not seeing YouTube, you can't see my face right now, but vanilla almond milk with a slice of pizza is the most unique meal in midday that I think I've ever been, that somebody's ever shared that they had with me.
That is interesting. I've got to start sharing more with you because I feel like that's not nearly as unique as a lot of my meals are. Yeah. I just like to have something with a little flavor. Like I usually like something sweet, like juice or diet soda or something with anything that I'm eating. I don't like drinking water with a meal. I don't know why. I drink water all day long. But yeah, I need something with a little flavor. And when I'm out of all the other sweet options, almond milk is my fallback.
I'm literally the opposite. Like I gotta have water, and it might have been a traumatic experience, but like when I was a kid, like my grandma, she was like, "Don't touch your water until you finish with your food," and so like I'll just wait until I'm completely done, and then I'll drink the water. So I have the special ability to be able to eat like a whole meal of dry biscuits and not have to drink any water because
I'm parched just listening to you. I have to drink this water.
I was raised that way. Thanks, Grandma. I love you.
I do remember getting yelled at for drinking all my juice and filling up, but I think that made me want it more. Like now I'm a grown up. I can do what I want.
Now you just stock your whole entire fridge with vanilla almond milk to eat with your pizza.
Yeah, sure do. Psh, take that, Mom and Dad.
And that's what it's like to be in recovery as a grown person.
Right. Get to have all the almond milk and cold pizza I want. How's your energy, Bryce?
My energy, interesting. Interesting energy. I'm tired. I'm tired of the winter. I'm tired of not knowing what I'm doing. I'm tired of having to clean the house. I'm tired of having to cook. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing the things that chip away at the things that I've identified that I want, but they don't feel like they're chipping away at it enough, and it's not moving quick enough. I'm tired. And so I am definitely in need of resources. It is one of those seasons of life where it's just important to have my community, the resources around me that I can continue to tap in with to hold me in the midst of that, and really like for no reason whatsoever. It's kind of like, okay, I got to brush my teeth maybe twice if we're talking spiritual teeth brushing. Maybe I gotta go to a couple of meetings this week. Maybe I need to read a little bit more. Maybe I need to meditate. Maybe I need to take a nap.
Hmm.
Just explore my resources a little bit more in depth because of the season that I'm in. So yeah.
Feel ya. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm digging into stuff to any little moments that I can find that feel connected. And yeah, and certainly like my toolbox, which is like yoga hardcore, I'm like finding a lot more um moments that I'm like, I need to go to yoga right now. It's gonna really, I'm gonna feel better. And it's nice to know that there's something I can reach for that is gonna make me feel better, and I'm gonna feel happy that I did it after. And there's also gonna be other people there. I'm gonna be able to connect. And yeah, I feel like I'm delighted by our segue into this resource conversation, because I feel like so much of what we get to do um, in our jobs has to do with the things that we use ourselves and that we need. And honestly, and I don't know if I'd be able to remember that I needed it as often as I do, because we talk about it all the time and we're constantly like trying to create ways that people can connect. Um, I need reminders all the time.
Yeah, I found a big. So I'm just one of the ones in environmental design where like I gotta, if I'm gonna drink water throughout the day, I gotta have a water bottle nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found even deeper than that, like it's got to be a water bottle with a straw in it, because like if I got a twisted cap, I just tend to drink less water. And
Get it?
so
Remove barriers.
yeah. And so having people that I talk to on damn near every other day basis, having people that I work with and I can't tell to go do something that I wouldn't do, having a constant presence within my community, whether I need it or not, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of uh, continually pushing myself to, or actually forcing myself to be a part of new communities,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that growth is what I need for the life that I've asked for. That's really helped me to be supported in times where like I'm tired, like I am now.
Yeah.
And I just gave an open talk in my program of recovery the other night, and doing recon every time I do an open talk, for those who aren't familiar with the open talks, is you come uh, for me in my program of recovery, and you come and you share your experience, strength, and hope. You share your story, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. And for me, every time I tell my story, like it's something a little different,
Oh yeah.
or because I'm a different person, it resonates in a different way. And there was a couple of things that came out. Maybe I'll share one or two of those things with you. But the thing that came out that really gave me perspective for what exists now is that when I first sought sobriety, recovery, I didn't know what I was seeking. I didn't know what I was looking for. I would talk to family members like, "Hey, I think I got a problem. Like I don't know what's going on, but I think I got a problem." And they were like, "Hey, you ain't got no problem," So there's this cultural barrier because we
Mm-hmm.
don't want that person in our family. So no, you straight. Then I was talking to a therapist, and telling her all different types of ways, trying to tell her that something's going on. And even when I explicitly told her like I don't know what's happening, I
Mm-hmm.
need some help, she was like, I wish I could give you what you need, like, because I was dealing with substance use disorder, and I was talking about it, and I'm like, but I don't want that, because that doesn't solve it. I get it, and it's gone, and then I'm back here again. I don't know what I need, but I'm asking for it, and eventually that's when I ended up in treatment. And I went to the emergency room a couple of times, And when I went in there, they gave me a little bit of whatever it was, and then gave me a piece of paper. Sound like you addicted. All right, see you later. And it's like, oh wow, perspective allows me to see that 12 years ago versus now, the resources that exist are mad abundant. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited about this new resource that the platform that we work for is evolving into,
Mm-hmm.
and the ways that it can contribute to people being able to access these resources. So you want to like dig in a little bit to that?
Yeah. Yeah, and just totally echoing everything that you said. There's so much more out there. We talk so much about the Phoenix here, um, and Phoenix was a big part of my early recovery, and I'm internally grateful. And then for a long time, I thought the Phoenix was the only thing that had these values that I value so deeply. This celebration of all pathways. I didn't really know what that meant, but I really liked that it was even part of the conversation because choice is so deeply important to me. And and when we created the Phoenix app, a couple of years ago, been like 2 years, which is crazy. It was because we wanted to make sure that anybody anywhere could find the Phoenix, and apps are the cool thing. And so we made a really cool app, and it was like, had geolocation. So if I travel somewhere, I could open my app and it still knows where I am and knows where Phoenix is close to me. And I can open it up and go to virtual events, and I can just go into the yoga space and say, hey, I like yoga and I'm in recovery, and somebody else is going to be like, me too. And it's just like all these different ways to connect, and it's in my pocket. And that's huge. And we've talked about that here on this um, podcast. And what was happening is people were finding the Phoenix app and finding the Phoenix in all these different ways. And they didn't they really wanted lots of pathways. Maybe this wasn't the pathway that was going to be right for them right now. Maybe they needed other tools. And like, we really mean it at this organization when we say all pathways, and like, you are the solution and you deserve to be able to decide what's right for you. And it didn't really quite feel right to have this platform that people were finding that we were the only ones on there, knowing that there were other organizations out there that also had these incredible resources. So we invited them on. And you've heard about a lot of those on this podcast, right? We've had Recovery Dharma on, we've had Passenger Recovery, we've had Ben's friends. So every organization that we talked to pretty much has been on our app because we've invited them on. And that's just been incredible because it's like, holy crap, it's not just the Phoenix. There's so much out there. And every single organization, is made up of all these humans who just are dedicated to helping and reaching out a hand, and without any kind of judgment and without any kind of like dogmatic, like, this is the only way and you have to do this or else you're out, like very much like open arms all the time. And it's been so inspiring to see. And so the next evolution of that has been what we're talking about today, which is just adjusting the platform, because it's been the Phoenix app with all these different organizations and resources and events happening on that. And that's confusing because the Phoenix is a very specific thing. So now this evolution, that by the time you're hearing this, it's already probably going to have happened, that Phoenix app is going to update to the new form app, which is a new form of community, a new form of you. And that is, and it's the same thing, right? It's the same idea where it's like, here are ways that you can connect digitally, virtually, in person. It knows where you are so that you can find what's near you at any moment. You can pull it out of your pocket and be connected with this just supportive community. And we all share that value of like choice and safety and access. And the other piece to that, I think, is seasons. Like there's seasons of this being the tool that I need, and then like that's just not quite it anymore. So let me move into this other area of community that's going to be supportive of what I'm going through. Maybe it's not even about substance use anymore, or maybe never was. Maybe I want to talk about like I'm feeling really anxious, or maybe I just don't even know what I need, and I just need to know that there's other people out there that care. So the Phoenix app has evolved into the new form app, where the Phoenix still exists in its core form. But in a way that makes sense. This part is the Phoenix. And then there's all these other organizations that exist on there as well. And it's just going to continue to grow. And yeah, it's like the world I want to live in is a kind of world that has these people in it, and it does. And now I get to carry it around in my pocket, and it's just going to continue to grow. And to be part of it in any way is like the honor of a lifetime. So that's what we wanted to tell you today. In addition to about how I spilled my milk and how weird it is that I drank milk with pizza.
I ain't think you was gonna tell nobody that. That's something I would be like. That's how you know you fully leaned into who it is that you are. Because if I drunk milk and ate pizza with it, that'd probably be something I did low key. I'm like, I ain't not about to tell everybody I do
I don't hide things about myself anymore.
that. Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
we're only as
yeah,
what do you say? We're only as sick as our secrets, right? And like, I don't
mm,
want to be as sick as milk with pizza secrets. That seems like a weird secret to keep.
yeah. You ain't gonna keep that secret too long and get some air freshener in that mug. But
uh,
yeah, so I think one of the most important things too is the access. Like
mm-hmm,
the access. You know, there's a lot of people looking for a resource hub, and
mm-hmm,
not like, you know, oh, people are checking off a box and putting a pamphlet in front of me, but like a literal source for other people that
mm-hmm,
are having some of this experience similar to what it is that I'm having, and I could connect with, and they can literally point me to the resources, whether it's like in-person meetings or it's grief count, like grief groups, or
mm-hmm.
uh,
Meditation.
I'm in college, and you know, I'm looking for the community or for the collegiate recovery programs,
Mm-hmm,
or I'm looking for a retreat to go to and attend and meet other people in this really like niche area.
mm-hmm,
There's so many different resources on the app as as it is now,
mm-hmm,
and the philosophy, I think, is that lighthouse that attracts organizations with the resources that believe in the democratization and the access of the people.
mm-hmm,
Like everybody should be able to have access to care.
mm-hmm,
Everybody should be able to have access to community.
mm-hmm,
Nobody needs to be able to. Nobody deserves not having the access, no matter where you're at or what community you're in or the culture that you come from. And if your culture needs a specific type of, I don't know, a type of like, so I think about me and some of the experiences that I've had. If somebody have had experiences similar to the ones that I've had, they might need like some gun violence trauma counseling, or
mm-hmm,
you know, cultural groups where it's not necessarily, we're not necessarily using language like addiction or alcoholism. Right, and maybe we can use other language before we even get there, because I'm not ready to say that out loud. There's still a bit of stigma around that.
mm-hmm.
This is the seed to de-siloing behavioral health resources in America, but you know, hopefully in the world.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that I'm so glad that you said that and called it behavioral health resources, because we have been trying to like shift our language around it when we talk about the app as this like digital ecosystem of all these different organizations, because it's more than just specifically substance use recovery resources. That definitely right now makes up the vast majority of it. But, you know, we contain multitudes, you know, and again, like we have seasons of everything. And you know, Scott Strode has always said everyone's recovering from something. And I think it's easy to feel like this is, um, you know, this is what I need, or this is what works for me, and this is what I identify, you know, with. And so I want this to be the whole thing. But I think the cool thing about this particular platform that we've built, and by we I mean tech people that are much more brilliant than I am.
No,
uh,
Liz just means her and I
yeah,
single handedly.
we sat there at our computer, coded, yeah, put together like my soldering iron to build the. I don't even know what
I
the
pulled some
words are.
tape out the drawer.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a way that you can have, just like you said, Bryce. There can be like pockets that are for, you know, specific I don't know, like types of communities, types of resources, types of conversations. Um, but then there's also a blending because, you know, nobody, we just all are so many, there's so many parts of us. And it's so important to have all those, I think, at our fingertips. And people still don't know, you know, like I think people still don't know that there are options out there and that you don't have to do it alone. Like something like as simple as that. I get messages literally every week, some weeks every day, from people that know somebody or are somebody that is looking for help, and it's like it's in whispers, and it's like still like shrouded in so much shame and so much fear, and that's normal. I've been there too, but also like it's so exciting to be able to say, with a lot of love and compassion, that you're not alone, and this, there's nothing wrong with you that you have to do by yourself. Like this is something that, there are people that have experienced it, and there are lots of options for you out there. And now we can say, and there's this app that if you download it, you can find what works for you today. It doesn't have to be the same as tomorrow. And that applies to the person struggling with whatever, in that moment they're struggling with, and also to the people supporting them. Like that's always been the thing at Phoenix too, where it's just like, this is the, when I was going through addiction, like, holy smokes, like it affected everybody around me. We've had Billy on the podcast, and he needs resources too. And so what's on there is for him too.
Yeah. So if you don't got the Phoenix app on your phone, you won't be able to get the Phoenix app on your phone because it's new form now. But if you did have the Phoenix app on your phone, I'm sure you've seen it turn into new form. And hopefully this gives you a bit of context around why the change, why the evolution. And we encourage you to reach out and reach out to somebody else in the app to just connect, or reach out to us. And if you have any questions or have any organizations that you know or services that you know belong on the app, shoot them our way. And speaking of community, before we get up out of here, so got this thing on Buzzsprout where we can get these messages from you all. And
that's right.
So we've got a couple of messages. Thus far, it doesn't we don't see your name. So those listening, I hope you hear your message and know that we acknowledge you. So first, from Albany, New York, testing from Liz. Oh, wait, that's Liz. Okay. So next,
that's funny.
Next, from Michigan, just listen to your podcast on Rise, Recover, Live. I'd love to learn to surf. Nice.
I wonder if that was after listening to Andy's episode.
Yeah,
who just celebrated a big birthday and graduated from social work school, by the way. So Andy, if you're listening, woohoo! Congrats.
Big time. And then we have a message from Alabama. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I'm so happy that I found this podcast. I just added it to my collection, and I'm a part of the Phoenix family. I just joined Phoenix last week. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. And thank you for reaching out, because podcast hosts need community too.
Yeah, we sure do.
So it's good to hear from you. Keep reaching out. You'll see that button on your podcast distributor, wherever you listen to it, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'll have a little button to reach out to us. And if you want, you can throw your name in there. If not, don't trip. And also reach out to us in the app, in the new form app. There's a Rise, Recover, Live space in there. And you can reach out to us in there and talk to us and come build community around media, around podcasts, around topics in recovery, long-term, short-term, around whatever comes to mind. Like there's so many different communities in the new form app. And I urge you, as somebody who was knocking on the door with a cup at the emergency room, sir, can you give me a spot of recovery? There's so many resources that are right at your fingertips, and I want to see you on there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's gonna, and again, just to reiterate, because I feel like this is something that I've said multiple times to folks, and it's like the thing that takes a few times to click. So if this is you, you're not alone. It's not a brand new app, right? If you have the Phoenix app, it is going to turn into the new form app. It's just an update. And if you can't remember the word new form when you go into your app store, I mean, it'll be in the show notes and everything. But even if you look up the Phoenix on your app store, new form is now going to show up. So we tried to make it so that you're still able to find it really, really easily. But yeah, reach out to us.
One more time, Liz. Is new form the Phoenix, or is the Phoenix not new form? One more time.
New form is the app. The Phoenix app is evolving into the new form app. The Phoenix exists now on the new form app alongside multiple other organizations, all of whom are so excited to welcome you into their communities.
So my favorite CrossFit class on Thursdays is not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. All right. You almost gave me a cat attack. My little cat pen almost got scared.
Oh, yeah, don't want to scare your cat. No, yeah, yeah. It's all like adding. There's nothing lost. Everything is just being gained, and yeah, and it's only I think about that lighthouse metaphor. It's it's only a lighthouse because we're in there being the light, and it's gonna shine even brighter the more people join. So get in there, shine your
So
light.
so when you see the light on, just know it's the refrigerator light from Leah's opening and grabbing this almond milk and eating pizza. Okay, so know that's the right lighthouse. You found it.
I knew you were
You
gonna
found
bring
it.
it back around.
You found it. We love y'all. Go
We love
download that
you.
app. We want to see you on there.
Yeah.
And we hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, rest of the week, even though it's Thursday for us and the end of the week is tomorrow, And we'll catch you next time on the Rise Recover Live podcast.
Sure will. Bye.